All right, welcome everyone. We're getting ready to start the ceremony and all the awards and the excitement, so thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mackenzie O'Keefe of CBS 4. So glad to be joining you tonight for such a special celebration of our region's successes. So even though the Denver Regional Council of Governments honored its winners virtually last year, it has been 3 years since we have all been together in person to recognize and really thank the people and organizations that contribute to our metro area. So round of applause for all being back together. It's so nice to see everyone in person again. Of course, we have a lot to celebrate tonight. The region is consistently rated as one of the best places to live in the country, and of course, we'll be honoring those that have helped to make it so. So many of you are here because of our esteemed award winners. Perhaps you know someone who's a Way to Go commuter champion, or someone who's winning a Distinguished Service Award, or maybe you've been involved in one of the projects. We are also receiving the Metro Vision Awards, announcing those, and at the very end of our program, we'll have special recognition of people and organizations who have really just sacrificed so much to ensure the older adults in our region stayed safe and well during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're very excited about all of the things that we have to cover tonight. We'll also have some fun along the way too, of course. We have some interactive trivia about our region that you can all take part in, so we'll get to that in just a bit. But until this evening, I didn't really know anyone personally who's being honored tonight, but in just the past few hours, meeting all of the folks here who are honoring and the incredible communities of support and care that surround them has made me even prouder to call Denver Region home. So very excited to be here tonight with you all. We're very excited to hear from the governor in just a moment, but first we'd like to thank our premier sponsor, Port Colorado, right here. So thank you guys so much. It's only with the support of our generous sponsors, such as Port Colorado, that we're just so thankful to be here and able to host such a wonderful event. So very thankful. We also want to ask the representatives from Port Colorado to stand up so we can honor you guys as well. So we'll give a big round of applause if you guys want to stand up right here. So Port Colorado team, thank you guys so much for your commitment to connecting the entire region via logistics, data, rail. We're so glad that you guys call Aurora home, and we can't wait to see how your innovative changes really help to make the region better. So thank you again. And we know that some of his staff are with us tonight. Governor Polis had to send his regards, but he wanted to make sure to greet you all virtually, so we're going to hear from him now.
Everyone, I'm honored to be part of the Denver Regional Council of Governments annual award celebration today. While I wish I could join you at Mile High Stadium gathering in person, I have to be in another part of the state today. We all know this has been a challenging and difficult time for so many Coloradans. I understand that part of this evening's ceremony will be honoring and expressing appreciation to the many, many people who supported our most vulnerable residents during the pandemic, our frontline heroes. Let me offer my heartfelt thanks to all of you who were involved in this important project. More broadly, I want to express my appreciation on behalf of Colorado for DRCOG and the long-standing legacy of DRCOG's contributions to our region and our state. Whether addressing complex transportation issues or the challenges of growth and development, DRCOG has a well-earned national reputation for bringing people together to enhance and protect our Colorado way of life. So congratulations to all the people, communities, and organizations being honored tonight. And to the DRCOG board and staff, keep up the good work that makes life better for all of us.
And we want to echo Governor Polis's appreciation to those that we're honoring tonight. So our winners have not only preserved what makes our communities great, but each of them have made strides to improving livability and the resilience for residents of all ages, incomes, and abilities. So I know that you know that DRCOG brings leaders together from the region's 58 counties, cities, and towns. But what you may not know is that its staff works diligently to partner with many for-profit and nonprofit organizations. Its members help with governments and cutting-edge services. So we want to take a moment to acknowledge some of tonight's sponsors at the highest levels, not only for the financial investments, but also they've made it possible for all of us to celebrate tonight, but as well as their year-round partnerships with our member governments and the staff. So at the gold level, we have Civitas Resources, we have EST Incorporated, Way to Go, and Excel Energy. So big round of applause for our gold ones there. Our silver sponsors include Centura Health, Commute with Enterprise, HDR, and Ride Amigos. And then at the bronze level, we are so grateful for the support of AECOM, Felsberg Holt, Ulevig, the Innovest Portfolio Solutions, Coursera, Michael Baker International, Sanborn Transportation Solutions, and USI Insurance. So thank you to all of our sponsors for your partnership in DRCOG's success. We really appreciate that. And now we want to join me in welcoming DRCOG's Executive Director, Douglas W. Rex, to help us kick off the evening.
Well, good evening, everybody, and so good to see so many faces in person. It's been a long time for sure. For the last 2 years, we've been doing our best via these little tiny video squares on our computers, and it's really nice that now that we've all been longing for the authentic connections and spontaneous ideas that result in coming together at the same place and the same time. So I want to speak for DRCOG's staff when I say how much it means to us to be together in this room with all of you this evening. So thank you all so very much for being here. Like Mackenzie just said, tonight is a culmination of partnerships that have brought our region this far. But is also the beginning of the new collaborative ventures. The gala doesn't just look back. Each of our winners tonight has been selected in part because they offer an example of future possibilities for other people, communities, and organizations. One of the best parts about working alongside local governments is that they aren't a whole lot of trade secrets, as you all know. When we have a great idea, we like to share them. And I think that it's that kind of collaboration and commitment that we have, that kind of innovation, is what keeps it exciting about being part of the DRCOG team. Thanks to the governance and confidence of our board of directors, DRCOG staff has had the flexibility to adapt how we serve our member governments. This was never more true, of course, during COVID pandemic, and while we are all eager to return to some degree of stability, staff has learned to flex new muscles and work even better together. If you're one of DRCOG's member governments, partner agencies, or business partners, you'll probably have worked with some of our staff, but you've likely only seen a sliver of the expertise and commitment. I know we're in a football stadium here tonight, so I guess I'm mixing metaphors a little bit here, but DRCOG's starting lineup and bench strength are unsurpassed. Our staff it truly operates as a team, which is no easy feat, especially given the breadth and depth of DRCOG's regional responsibilities. So as the play clock is winding down, I want to keep this short and just say our staff and our board, we are just thrilled that you all joined us this evening to celebrate the champions and MVPs that make this region special. So thank you so very much and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Doug. And speaking of pivots, it's time for me to introduce a really fun activity for all of you to flex your mental muscles and show off your regional knowledge. And you can qualify to win a Broncos package. It includes a Russell Wilson jersey, along with an autographed football for former Bronco Chris Harris. So you're definitely going to want to win that. So we're going to take part in this. As mentioned, we want to have some fun tonight. It's trivia. And each of tonight's gold sponsors are introducing some quiz questions. So we will announce the winner at the end of the program, so please stick around so you can claim your prize if you are that winner. If you're not here when we announce that winner, it'll go to the next person, the next highest score. So to participate in the quiz, you just need to use a smartphone to join. There's instructions printed on that golden rod right there on your tables. You can also join using the QR code or by visiting menti.com. So we'll give you a few seconds to join that, and when you see the heart symbol, you can click on that and then stand by. We'll have 5 questions throughout the evening, and just so you know, your score is not only based on the correct answers, but also how fast you answer. So certainly a lot of pressure there. You're going to want to answer quickly as well. And if you don't want to participate using your phone, we'll have it up there on the screen as well, and you can just remember your scores and keep track of that mentally. So we'll let you guys sign up for that in just a bit. All right, so we're going to kick off for this first question. Doug got us started with some football metaphors, so I'm just going to run with that. The first question brought to us by our sponsor, EST Inc. So the first question is coming up here on your screen. We'll wait just a second for that to pop up. Still some people joining too. So this is your last chance to join before we answer this first question. And again, answer fast. All right, so here's the first question. The Denver area is known for great food and entrepreneurship. So which of these fast casual restaurants was not founded in our region? Your choices are A, Quiznos, B, Mad Greens, C, Tokyo Joe's, D, Noodles and Company, or E, Wingstop. So let's see what you guys come up with. Time is up. So let's see how you did. If you guessed Wingstop, you are correct. So the rest of these successful restaurants actually all started here in Colorado, but Wingstop originated in Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas. So congratulations to everyone who got that one correct. And now we want to hear from Board of Directors Chair Kevin Flynn, council member from the community hosting the celebration, the city and county of Denver. So let's welcome Flynn here.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Mackenzie. Hello, everybody. This has been just the craziest last 2 years. People being isolated, on their own, staying at home, not going out. I think there's only one thing we can say. Who the heck are all you people? We actually should have thought, Doug, we should have thought of arranging the seating in like a Hollywood Squares box so it looked like a big Zoom meeting, right? So anyway, thank you, Mackenzie. On behalf of the DRCOG Board of Directors, welcome to this long overdue regional gala. I'm Kevin Flynn, DRCOG Board Chair. I'd like to take a moment to introduce my fellow board officers. Please stand and be recognized as I announce your name. First, we have our Vice Chair, Steve Conklin from the City of Edgewater. Our Secretary, Wynn Shaw, City of Lone Tree. Treasurer, Jeff Baker, Arapahoe County. And our immediate past chair, Ashley Stolzman, City of Louisville. Ashley, where are you? Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge the other board members, the directors who are in the audience. If you are a member of the Board of Directors, please stand to be recognized. Please stand. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I only see one. I'd also like to thank the senators and representatives who have taken time away from Colorado's legislative session that is soon to wrap up. Women and children will be safe once again. And also representatives, by the way, from our Colorado congressional delegation. Here tonight are Senator Chris Hansen. Senator Hansen, I ran into him earlier. Representative Mary Young. From the office of Representative Congresswoman Diana DeGette, we have Joe Wood, District Outreach Representative. Joe just recently left the halls of Denver City Council to join Congresswoman DeGette. We also have Nermina Mukan. She told me how to pronounce this. I apologize. Nermina Mojkanovic. I got it right. District Director, also from Congresswoman Diana DeGette's office. Excuse me. Thank you. You know, let's get serious now, please. You know, the last 2 years have been a paradox for our region, haven't they? For all of us. We've had devastating losses and setbacks. We've lost some family members, perhaps. I know I have. While simultaneously championing incredible innovation and advancement. Our region's quality of life remains highly desirable, and yet we face monumental challenges. We have some of the most diverse housing options in the nation, and yet they remain out of reach for many of our essential workers who care for our region's older adults, who educate our children, who serve on the front lines of response for those living on the margins. People who know me will tell you, especially my wife, that I am a student of Denver Region's history. I am sort of the unofficial historian of the Denver City Council, and no debate there is complete unless I relate a been there, done that story for perspective. But I'm always struck by how often our stories are framed by that old trope we've all heard of boom and bust, whether it's about the gold rush days or our post-World War II growth. Sometimes the history of our region gets reduced to an all or nothing narrative. You know, DRCOG has been around since 1955. Some of us have also been around since 1955. I'm here to tell you that, well, no, I'm here to join the chorus that is you, our member governments and partners. I'm here to say that it's never been that simple. DRCOG has always lived between the tension of prosperity and uncertainty, the reality of the present and the promise of the future. DRCOG is an organization that helps build the bridge between opportunity and reality. When times are good, we're a little pessimistic, pointing to those outcomes on the horizon that might surprise those looking just 3 to 5 years ahead. For our regional planning and transportation planning teams, that horizon is often more than 20 years out. And when times are tough, our partnership is defined by optimism, working alongside each other to find ways to make things better now and for the long haul. Solving problems regionally has been our driving force since the start nearly 70 years ago. We come together to solve problems regionally because we've always been stronger together than any one of us is alone. So let's get to the celebration of those who've come together to make our region stronger, more vibrant, and more resilient. Thank you. As Mackenzie has mentioned, I am honored not only to represent this region as your DRCOG board chair this year, but I'm also a city council member for our host city, Denver. And while Mayor Michael Hancock isn't able to join us tonight, he was eager to bring his greetings to our gathering with a special message. So let's hear from our mayor in Denver, Mayor Michael B. Hancock. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Hancock here. I want to thank the Denver Regional Council of Governments for inviting me to join tonight's celebration. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you, but I'm honored to be a part of DRCOG's awards events to recognize the people and organizations that make our region the best place to live, work, and play. Just like your communities, the city and county of Denver faced so many challenges these past few years, and I commend the people who were front and center to support our most vulnerable communities during the pandemic. My heartfelt thanks for the important and life-giving work you do. I also want to express my appreciation for this organization and all it has accomplished for our region, from addressing transportation needs to ensuring our residents have secure housing. DRCOG's impact is well known throughout the state and the nation. Congratulations again to tonight's awards recipients. And to DRCOG's board and staff, thanks for your time and dedication to make life better for all of us.
All right, so we're excited to start celebrating those award winners. It's an exciting time of the night. But first, we want to start with one more quiz question to get us really fired up. So it is a second quarter and a tight game, we'd say. The question is brought to us to our Way to Go partnership. And as I'm introducing this quiz question, we would love all of our Way to Go award winners to make your way up to right stage, which is right here on my left. So if you guys can make your way up here to the side of the stage. And then, all right, here we go. So here is your next question. We have it coming up to question number 2 of 5. So the first stone hotel built west of the Mississippi River was built in 1867 in this DRCOG community. Your options are A, Boulder, B, Golden, C, Idaho Springs, D, Denver, or E, Castle Rock. And it is a pretty tough one unless you have lived in this community. So we'll let you have a few seconds to decide. All right, so time is up, and let's see how you fared. So, the correct answer to this question is Golden, which is actually where I grew up. So, and if you really look close at this photo, you can see the name Astor House, and that's a historic gem located on 12th Street, and it is now 155 years old. So, we want to take a look at the leadership board here now with 3 questions remaining. Don't get too complacent or discouraged. A lot can change between now and then. So here's a look at that right now. It looks like top position is Steve Ward, followed by Matthew, and then followed by Laura. So it's going to get pretty tight here coming up. So we wanted to get to some of our awards now. Way to Go is a partnership of DRCOG and 8 transportation management associations. So many are here tonight, and they include Boulder Transportation Connections, Commuting Solutions, the Downtown Denver Partnership, Denver South Transportation Management Association, Northeast Transportation Connections, Smart Commute Metro North, Transportation Solutions Foundation, and then the newest member of the Way to Go family, the West Corridor Transportation Management Association. So we have our Way to Go partnership, including DRCOG's Way to Go staff. Can you guys all please stand to be recognized? And our Way to Go award winners are coming up here on the stage right now, so let's give a round of applause. All right, so Way to Go helps to reduce traffic congestion as well as to improve air quality. The partnership encourages commuters to stop driving alone and to instead try transit with biking, walking, carpooling, telework, or even van pooling. And each year, Way to Go recognizes commuting champions, innovative individuals and employers that reduce the number of solo drivers on the road and increases the use of sustainable transportation choices. So, of course, there were a number of excellent nominees in each of these categories. So before we get to the winners, we would like to briefly acknowledge the judges who helped to select tonight's honorees. So 2 of our judges, Erica Benti, an active transportation professional from Colorado State University, and Isabel Dybel, policy manager of the Colorado Forum, and then Maggie Lee, grants manager from Mile High Connects. They're here to represent the Way to Go judging panel. So we want to thank all of our judges for their hard work in tonight's winners. All right, so without further ado, we want to meet our first honoree, Rising Star Award winner, Kelly Tomiko.
Kelly Tomiko's efforts to change how the Denver region's residents get around don't stop at 5 p.m. Friday. It's her all day, every day. Kelly meets regularly with neighbors who share her passion for biking. They chat over coffee to brainstorm ways to advocate for policy and infrastructure for everyone who walks or rolls. When she doesn't have a coffee in hand, Kelly's at the keyboard. Through her active transportation newsletter column, Kelly's ideas and solutions reach thousands in West Washington Park. Her advocacy isn't limited to her words, however. Kelly regularly hits the pavement on her folding bike to commute downtown or walks to the light rail to get to work. As a member of the South Central Transportation Network and as board member of the West Washington Park Neighborhood Association, Kelly works to increase opportunities for residents to safely use human-powered transportation. Congratulations, Kelly, for leading the way for others to choose more sustainable commute options.
Way to go, Kelly. Can you please stand so we can give you a big round of applause? Very awesome. Also love the cowboy boots and the dress on the bike. That was great. All right, so next up we are honoring one of DRCOG's member governments, the City of Longmont, for making sustainable commuting easy for all of its employees and its residents, and earning this year's Employer Champion recognition.
Even before the Longmont City Council declared a climate emergency in 2019, the city championed commute options for its employees and throughout Longmont. A city wellness program provides incentives to employees who walk or cycle, a novel way to encourage lacing up rather than turning a key. Employees can use the points they earn from participation for cash, a day off from work, or a combination of both. Longmont has also found innovative ways to support public transportation in the city, allowing anyone to ride local Longmont buses for free without showing a pass. The city also operates a bike-sharing program for its employees. Staff use the bikes, which are strategically placed at several city facilities, for city business, such as going to meetings, conducting field research, or running errands. Such a comprehensive suite of transportation options aligns with the city's Envision Longmont multimodal plan. City officials are looking toward a future in which Longmont's transportation system offers safe, healthy, and reliable mobility for people of all ages, income levels, and abilities. Congratulations, City of Longmont, for changing your organization and the community's culture for the better.
And what an inspiration. We have Ben Ortiz, transportation planner, on stage accepting that award on behalf of the City of Longmont. We also know others from Longmont are here, including Mayor Joan Peck and Transportation Planning Manager Phil Greenwald. So we also would like you guys to stand so we can show our appreciation as well. So next up, a very special award that recognizes the singular commitment of an individual to sustainable commuting and so much more. So I'm pleased to introduce you to this year's Way to Go Commuter of the Year, Avi Stopper.
For many in the Denver region, cycling is how they get around. For Avi Stopper, biking is also for creating change. Avi always loved commuting by bike, but for most of his adult life, he had to do it alone. Avi felt most comfortable using protected bike lanes, especially when riding with his 2 kids, and he recognized the safety challenges all bicyclists face when planning their routes. He had an idea: the Bike Streets Project. Avi saw an opportunity to get more bikes on the road by finding low-stress routes, alternatives to unprotected bike lanes that Denver residents of all ages could enjoy. After identifying accessible routes, Avi crowdfunded $10,000 to print 20,000 maps, which the project gave away for free at bike shops, coffee shops, recreation centers, and libraries. Avi continues his mission to get more Denver region residents to ride their bikes every day for transportation. Whether it's through writing grants or getting maps in hands, Avi hopes to help more people reach for their handlebars before their steering wheels. Congratulations, Avi, for being an inspiration to the Denver region's commuters.
And how many of you guys have picked up a bike streets map and had no idea who made it possible? Well, now you guys know, so we want to let Avi know we're grateful for his work of making biking to work just something that's so fun, and errands now feel safe and convenient. So thanks so much for your work there as well. All right, so congratulations to all of the Way to Go champions. Let's give them one more round of applause for all of their great work as they make their way off stage. They're going to be congratulated by the board treasurer and Arapahoe County Commissioner Jeff Baker. So we are just getting started. We have a lot more to recognize tonight, but before we do that, it is time for our next quiz question. So get excited. We're approaching halftime right about now, but stay in your seats, everyone. I should say that everyone except our Distinguished Service Award winners, will you guys please make your way to the right side of the stage right here, which is my left side.
Where does electricity come from? It comes from here. And here. And here. At Excel Energy, we work to keep that energy safe, reliable, and more affordable by constantly monitoring and protecting the grid. Because while it's important where electricity comes from, we're just as focused on where it's going. This is how the future is made.
All right, so here we go with our next quiz question. We'll get that up there on the screen here in just a bit. Also, who else has seen that on their TV? An awesome commercial there for Excel Energy. Love to see it. All right, let's get that quiz question up here, number 3 out of 5, and it is starting. So here we go. Which DRCOG community elected the first female mayor of a U.S. city over 60,000 population in 1965? So was it A, Denver, B, Aurora, C, Boulder, D, Lakewood, or E, Thornton? The correct answer is Aurora, so you can check out Norma O. Walker, who was elected mayor of Aurora in 1965 and then served until 1967. So she's known in part for her work to stabilize Aurora's water supply. I know a lot of you guys were disappointed in those answers, but we do have some winners still up here on the leaderboard. We'll take a look at how that's looking right about now. So let's see. All right, Juan taking the lead now for the fastest answer on that last question, followed by Derek and then Kylie. So we still do have a few more questions and before we crown that champion. So the big question is, who's that going to be? We're excited. So each year, DRCOG honors outstanding Denver region residents who embody collaboration and cooperation when tackling the metro area's challenges. The Distinguished Service Award winners are people who have contributed to our region's excellence through their professional and philanthropic activities. Each of them exemplifies a commitment to making life better in the region that surpasses the duties of their given job, their office, or even their volunteer service. So they've selflessly devoted their time and their enthusiasm to nurturing partnerships and really to just helping others succeed for the benefit of the Metro Denver area. So let's meet this year's 8 Distinguished Service Award winners, and first up is Frank Bruno.
Early in the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the region's largest providers of transportation services for older adults and people with disabilities unexpectedly stopped providing rides. It seemed like it would become much harder for the people at greatest risk of isolation to get to grocery stores, medical appointments, and social activities. But thanks to Frank Bruno's leadership at Via Mobility Services, a crisis was averted.
Via Mobility Services has been around for 40 years. And if you've been in this region, you'll see our white Via paratransit vehicles out and about. And like many people, you would say, well, that's Via Mobility. And you wouldn't be wrong by any means, but it's a fraction of what Via Mobility Services is all about.
Frank and his team worked tirelessly to avoid service disruptions. Not a single previously scheduled ride was missed in the transition between providers. No stranger to civic service, Frank champions finding community-based solutions to the region's most urgent challenges at the intersection of aging, transportation, and clean air. And Frank would be the first to point out that he couldn't have done it alone. The entire Via Mobility staff deserves recognition for their extraordinary efforts. Congratulations, Frank, for all you do to keep the region's most vulnerable residents healthy, safe, and independent.
Yeah, Frank, we're so grateful to you and Via Mobility Services for everything you've done in the pandemic and beyond, so congratulations. And please, you accepted the appreciation. As the video mentioned, Frank would be the first to say he cannot do this alone, so we also want the Via Mobility staff to stand up and be recognized as well. So if you're out there, please stand up. We want to give you a big round of applause as well. And next up, we have another individual who has dedicated their career to the latter half of living. Let's meet Therese Ellery.
Therese Ellery served as Senior Program Officer at Rose Community Foundation for more than 20 years. She ensured millions of dollars went to providing safety net services to older adults. Therese's ongoing commitment is to helping older adults not just survive, but thrive by transforming the encore stage of life. As chair of the Changing the Narrative Advisory Board, Therese shapes how media and policy represent aging, resulting in positive perceptions of older adults among influencers and everyday Coloradans. Beyond creating and chairing Changing the Narrative, Therese has been instrumental to creating other partnerships that improve the lives of older adults. For example, Experience Engaged, formerly known as Boomers Leading Change and Latino Age Wave Colorado. And Aging Colorado, a television campaign helping older adults obtain information and resources. She champions the contributions, collaboration, and engagement of all people. Thank you for your partnership throughout the years, Therese. Congratulations.
What a luminary. We've also learned that Therese serves on the Rose Community Foundation's Philanthropic Services Committee, and a group from Rose Community Foundation has sponsored a table to cheer her on tonight. So Therese, please stand. You stood up already, and we want to also hear for her and everyone else here, so thank you so much. All right, so next up is someone who has ensured our region's biggest city has been at the cutting edge of smart transportation systems and technology. It is Michael Finocchio.
Michael Finocchio has dedicated more than 2 decades of his life to ensure traffic flows safely and efficiently in the Denver area. Michael's work was recently featured on 9 News.
This is an early controller. This is a 1940s style controller.
Traffic control
It's run by cams and levers and dials,
has come a long way from cans and dials.
but obviously it's a lot more sophisticated.
Cameras, motion sensors, and engineers like Michael Finocchio keep traffic moving in Denver today.
Michael recently retired as the engineering manager for transportation operation systems at the City and County of Denver, where, among other things, he had been overseeing Denver's Connected Vehicle program, where traffic signals communicate with vehicles on the road. Michael's work has been a model to other communities and organizations, such as traffic signal system integration with Lakewood and the Colorado Department of Transportation Region 1, and a traffic camera monitoring system with the Denver Police Department and CDOT's Traffic Management Center. Now that he's retired, he's starting his second career with Parsons Corporation. Congratulations, Michael, and thank you for your dedication to making the Denver region safer.
And with all of those accomplishments prior to retirement, we can't wait to see what Michael does next at Parsons. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here tonight, but we still want to show appreciation for his work. So another round of applause for Michael. All right, so next up, we're honoring a member of the governor's office for his longtime commitment to ensuring older adults can age well in our state's communities. So let's meet Jarrett Hughes.
Jarrett Hughes' commitment to livable communities for older adults is evident at the highest levels of government and in the widest array of communities. As Senior Policy Advisor on Aging for Governor Jared Polis, Jarrett supports implementation of the Strategic Action Plan on Aging and leads the Lifelong Colorado Initiative. He was previously Project Administrator for the State Strategic Action Planning Group on Aging. In 2021, he was instrumental in developing the statewide plan for livable communities for older adults. Through Lifelong Colorado, Jarrett helps communities provide reliable transportation, attainable housing, jobs, recreation, and healthcare, all within the reach of older adults. He ensures local voices, regional partnerships, and state support make Colorado a place where everyone can age successfully. And as adjunct faculty at Colorado Mesa University, Jarrett introduces students to gerontology and inspires young adults to work intergenerationally with and on behalf of older Coloradans. Congratulations, Jarrett.
And Jared, I know you have a lot of partners and well-wishers in the audience tonight, so thank you so much. We appreciate all your hard work. So Paul Jositis recently retired from the Colorado Department of Transportation, where he provided more than 2 decades of service to people who use the state's roads. So let's find out more.
Paul Jositis has been a consistent and valued partner in addressing transportation needs throughout the region for more than 2 decades. He recently retired from a 24-year career with the Colorado Department of Transportation, where he spent the last 6 years as Region 1 Transportation Director. He worked on hundreds of projects totaling billions of dollars. Throughout his career, he worked closely with the metro area's cities, counties, and towns, and provided an essential regional perspective to DRCOG committees. Following his retirement from CDOT, Paul embarked on a second career as Colorado Regional Director for EST Incorporated, where he continues his passion for serving people through working on transportation projects. Congratulations, Paul, and thank you for your ongoing commitment to improving transportation in the Denver region.
And we know in the audience tonight are Paul's colleagues from his new role at EST Incorporated. They've sponsored a table to celebrate his achievements. So again, a round of applause for Paul tonight. So next up, let's meet Chief John Mackey, whose career included working for or in partnership with many of our region's law enforcement agencies, those at both the state and the national level too.
A legend among Colorado's law enforcement community, Chief John Mackey's career spanned 3 counties and 4 decades. He retired as Chief of Police for the City of Edgewater in late 2021. As chair of the Metro Chiefs of Police, he fostered cooperation among federal, state, county, and local partners. His work garnered recognition from the FBI director, Colorado governor, and his peers. He created intergovernmental agreements to commission officers across institution and jurisdiction boundaries. Especially groundbreaking was an arrangement between Auraria campus officers and the Denver Police Department. At Auraria, he served on the organizing committee to plan for the 2008 Democratic National Convention. Although officially retired from law enforcement, John continues to serve the community on the Leadership Council of the University of Colorado Denver Center on Domestic Violence. He's an advisor to eBodyguard, a startup enhancing the safety of victims and first responders. Thank you, John, for a career of service and a lifetime of contributions to the safety of the state's residents.
All right, so big thank you. Chief Mackey isn't able to be with us tonight, but accepting his award on stage on his behalf is Melissa Faith Hart of eBodyguard, the personnel safety venture that John is involved in developing. Denver City Council member Deborah Ortega is also here to celebrate John's accomplishments, so let's all show our appreciation for Chief Mackey's career-long dedication to the safety of our state's residents. A big round of applause. The School of Public Affairs at the University of Colorado Denver has been a longtime partner with DRCOG under the leadership of Dean Paul Teske. So let's discover together what he's done for our region.
Whether for a quick consultative phone call or a long-term project, Dr. Paul Teske takes a collaborative approach to address the region's challenges. With 14 years as Dean of the University of Colorado Denver School of Public Affairs, Paul was named a Distinguished Professor in 2008. He supported the Sustainable Communities Initiative by partnering university faculty with Denver Regional Council of Government staff. The collaboration resulted in a final report that continues to inform MetroVision, the region's aspirational plan for its future. Paul is active in several nonprofits and government commissions, such as Civico, a community leadership development organization, and as an academic partner for the Colorado Governor's Fellowship Program. Congratulations, Paul, and thank you for being a valuable partner for the Denver region.
Dean Teskey and his colleagues from CU Denver here tonight sponsored a table to celebrate Paul's recognition and their partnership with DRCOG. So thank you so much for all of your work, Paul. We appreciate it. And our last Distinguished Service Award tonight goes to Jonathan Wachtel, Sustainability Manager of the City of Lakewood. So let's learn about how Jonathan has made Lakewood a leader in its practice around sustainability, recycling, and waste diversion.
The City of Lakewood's Sustainability Division works collaboratively within local government and alongside the community to create a vibrant, sustainable city. Manager Jonathan Wachtel has facilitated community leaders, businesses, and residents working together to ensure that Lakewood stays healthy and thriving for generations to come. He managed development of the city's sustainability plan and created its internationally recognized Sustainable Neighborhoods program. At the regional level, Jonathan led efforts to increase recycling and composting and to reduce waste. He helps local communities with their zero waste initiatives. And he created a framework for neighborhood climate action that empowered residents and has been a model for communities throughout the Denver area. Congratulations, Jonathan, and thanks for championing planning and policies that support a sustainable region.
And how fun to see that time-lapse footage of how John has led Lakewood to engage its residents and empower them to practice sustainability. So we're thankful for Jonathan's hard work there as well. So big congratulations once again to all of the Distinguished Service Award winners up here. Let's give them one more round of applause as they make their way off stage. They'll be congratulated by Board Secretary and Lone Tree Council Member Wynn Shaw. So big thank you to all of you award winners. Congratulations. Okay, as I introduce our next and next to last, by the way, question for our quiz, will the MetroVision Award winners please make your way to the right of the stage, right over here to my left. And we are well into the second half of this game for the ages, so here is your next quiz question. Again, this is question number 4 out of 5, so we'll get that up here on the screen here shortly. Our fourth quiz question is brought to us by Civitas Resources, and this question starts with a picture that some of you may recognize. So the big question is, what are these coming up here on your screen in just a moment? All right, are you getting ready for it to pop up here? You got your phones out and ready to go? Yeah, we're doing a quiz question and then it's okay. You gotta have your phone ready, right? All right, we're just waiting for that to pop up here in just a second. All right, so here's the question. What are these right here? Here are some of the options. A, these house and protect satellite and missile tracking antennas. B, water towers for Buckley Air Force Base. C, navigational aids for stealth aircraft. And then D, master control antennas for GPS satellites. Or E, it's 4. It's time, tea time for giants. Look like giant golf balls there. All right, so time is up. My favorite answer was tea time for giants, but the correct answer you can see is A. So what appear to be those giant golf balls actually protect the antennas used for satellite and missile tracking, which is pretty cool. So congrats to those of you who got it right, and we want to take a quick look at the leaderboard once again just to see who's winning at this point in the game. All right, so it looks like we have Jonathan in number 1, followed by Juan and then Matthew. So getting tight right there for second place. We'll have one more question for you guys to answer. And now it's time to move on to our next slate of award winners. So while the Distinguished Service Award focuses on the efforts made by individuals, we'll now be honoring programs and projects that contribute to the quality of life in our region. So the MetroVision Awards, they represent a shared vision and commitment to healthy growth among our member governments. The programs that we recognize this afternoon, they collaborative initiatives that improve the quality of life for our residents. And of course, they engage all of us and active participants in planning for our region's future as well. So this year, we're honoring 7 projects that represent our region's ideal. I had the distinct pleasure of acting as one of the 3 judges that selected these awards there. There were so many excellent submissions. It was so difficult. Everyone was great, but we'd really like to take a moment to recognize my fellow judges as well. So Joe Rice, former state representative, former Glendale mayor, and current director of the government relations at Lockheed Martin. Unfortunately, Joe's traveling for business right now and not able to join us tonight, but he played a huge role in this. And also serving as judge was Rodley Milton, the executive director of ULI Colorado and a member of the University of Colorado Denver's College of Architecture and Planning Advisory Board. So Rodney is here tonight, and please stand, Rodney, so we can recognize you for your service in selecting these amazing award winners tonight. So big round of applause for our judges as well. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to know this year's MetroVision Award winners. So first up is the Autonomous Electric Vehicle Pilot, a partnership among the City of Golden, the Colorado School of Mines, AVCO, and Easy Mile.
Shared mobility will ultimately change the way we travel around the region, and autonomous electric vehicles will be at the center of this evolution. Though years away from widespread deployment, innovative pilot projects here in Colorado are envisioning that brighter mobility future. In 2021, the City of Golden and the Colorado School of Mines, along with partners AVCO and Easy Mile, designed and launched driverless electric transit vehicles that operated on predefined routes along Golden City streets. The Mines Rover project had 9 shuttles drive on 3 different routes, including key spots downtown and on the School of Mines campus.
One of the coolest things about this project was the partnership. It took the city and participation from the city to allow us to operate on public roads. They helped us put up bus infrastructure. They helped us think through the types of infrastructure considerations that an autonomous vehicle would need in order to operate safely and effectively here. The school, involved their students and helped to pay their students, which was a really innovative way to involve students in a project.
The Mines Rover pilot was the largest of 3 similar programs in DRCOG's region and met the primary goals of proving these services can provide safe and sustainable commutes, as well as increase access for underserved communities.
We've documented everything that took place here in Golden and on the campus and have created a playbook that we call City Forward that we're providing to the industry in order for them to learn from what we've done here.
MetroVision calls for access to a connected multimodal transportation system, and this project has us moving in the right direction. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
So accepting the award on stage tonight is Tyler Sivtak, the Executive Director of Smart Cities Alliance, representing Robin Fleshman from the City of Golden, who couldn't be here tonight, but thank you guys so much. And we're hoping that all of the project partners from Golden, School of Mines, and AVCO, you can all stand up to be recognized for this groundbreaking smart city innovation. So congratulations, and let's hear it for this cutting-edge partnership. Very cool. So next up, we're honoring Changing the Narrative for its Age-Friendly Workforce Initiative. Let's learn more about this effort to help local employers to maximize the contributions of older adults workers in the vibrant, multi-generational workplace.
Ageism happens in the workplace more often than we would like to admit. Older Coloradans face discrimination and prejudice based on their age. The prevalence of ageism impacts how and whether older adults are able to engage in the workforce. The Age-Friendly Workforce Initiative is helping Colorado be a place where older workers can find opportunities and feel valued while encouraging employers to tap this underutilized talent pool. The Age-Friendly Workforce Initiative aims to dispel generational stereotypes and combat ageism by directly reaching out to civic leaders and businesses.
Basically making the case to employers and anyone else who will listen of why older workers and intergenerational teams are actually good for business.
Since its launch in 2019, one of the major actions of the initiative was overseeing the Certified Age-Friendly Employer Program in Colorado. DRCOG was among the first in the state to earn designation as a Certified Age-Friendly Employer.
I would love to see every county in Colorado do kind of what's happening in Metro Denver and have certified age and friendly employers in every single county in Colorado. And then as we think of beyond Colorado, I would love to see other states come to Colorado and say, okay, what are you doing here that is making your economy so strong? And that our economic development people, our DRCOGs, our state agencies would be saying, it's because we have embraced the value of older workers, and here's how you can do it as well.
Empowering older adults who want to and are capable of working really benefits all of us. When we help older adults provide for their financial well-being, physical health, and sense of purpose, we get stronger, more engaged communities. And older workers make significant contributions to success in the workplace. The Age-Friendly Workforce Initiative, the first of its kind in the country, was funded by the Rose Community Foundation and Next 50 Initiative. This initiative will help us reach MetroVision goals for access to jobs and a vibrant regional economy. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
And accepting the award tonight for changing the narrative is its director, Janine Vanderberg. And many of this project's staff and partners are in the audience tonight, including one of its funding partners, the Rose Community Foundation. So we'd love all of you guys to stand up so we can recognize you. Great work. Next up, we're recognizing Energize Denver, an initiative of the City and County of Denver Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency. So let's watch this video about how they're reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving health and equity, creating jobs, and charging towards a net zero energy future for existing buildings in the city.
Do you know that Denver's buildings and homes account for 49% of all carbon emissions in the city? To improve the region's air quality and reduce greenhouse gases, the City and County of Denver's Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency launched an initiative that resulted in Denver City Council unanimously passing the Energize Denver Ordinance. This landmark policy is the first of its kind in the nation, and it will serve as a model for other cities. Energize Denver is the collaborative effort of government, nonprofit, education, business, and community leaders working to address the climate crisis.
We know that commercial and multifamily buildings are responsible for almost 50% of the greenhouse gas emissions in Denver. And so the city formed the Energize Denver Task Force to help us bring all of those buildings to net zero energy by 2040.
Energize Denver sets energy performance standards for building owners and managers at interim targets between now and 2040. To help meet compliance, the city will offer incentives and clean building upgrades powered by renewable energy sources such as solar energy.
And we're going to be offering a lot of support to building owners and managers to comply with that part of the ordinance. We've got our Energize Denver Hub up and running, and they'll be answering questions, providing technical support, and under-resourced buildings will get a lot of extra support with compliance. And we've got flexibility built in where building owners need it.
By electrifying buildings with renewable energy, Denver will also ramp up its rapid transition to 100% renewable energy by 2030. This will create a robust green workforce with access to quality jobs that will be in high demand. The Energize Denver effort is a powerful example of a DRCOG community leading the way to meet MetroVision goals of a safe and healthy natural and built environment, and the entire region will benefit from their innovative approach. Thank you to the City and County of Denver, the stakeholders, and City Council for this forward-thinking project. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
So Accepting the award on stage tonight is Katrina Minigan from the Denver Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency. So thank you so much. And we know there's a huge group of folks here involved in this project at the city's 3 sponsor tables. So anyone involved to stand up. Looks like you guys are, and a big round of applause for you. So great work there. Next up, we're recognizing the Regional Transportation District for its equitable transit-oriented development policy, which facilitates the development of affordable housing on RTD's property at transit stations. So let's learn more in this video.
Transportation and housing are 2 of the biggest expenses in most households. The City and County of Denver estimates the region lacks 100,000 affordable homes, and the National Community Reinvestment Coalition ranked Denver as the 2nd fastest gentrifying area in the country between 2013 and 2017. To address the rising cost of housing and encourage transit use, the Regional Transportation District, or RTD, created the Equitable Transit-Oriented Development Policy that will encourage building affordable housing on RTD property at transit stations.
RTD has land at stations, and that's really the best place to put affordable housing because people are so overburdened with housing costs and transportation costs. If we can reduce that and connect the housing to the transit, then they are better able to get where they need to go.
Approved by RTD's board in February 2021, the policy aims to increase ridership through transit-supportive land use and also generate revenue through joint development on RTD property, all while enhancing community relationships. RTD will use the policy to prioritize affordable development on its land, lowering costs of acquisition, construction, and administration. The state of Colorado calls on RTD to not only deliver transit services, but also to promote to the public health, safety, convenience, economy, and welfare of residents in the region and the state. This innovative project helps meet MetroVision goals of improved access to both transportation and housing. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
And accepting the award on stage tonight is Chessie Brady, manager of the Transit-Oriented Development from RTD. So this project is possible through many partnerships across the region. Whether you're sitting at RTD's table or beyond, I invite anyone involved in the development of this policy to stand up and be recognized for all of your contributions to this much-needed effort. Some great work there. Thank you, everyone. Our next winning project is also at the confluence of housing, transportation, and jobs. So it's the Smart Commute Metro North Flexible Microtransit Service supporting underserved workforce needs in the North I-25 area. So let's learn more about this.
Perseverance, collaboration, and commitment are the hallmarks of the North I-25 Flexible Microtransit Project.
So this program came to fruition directly out of the need identified from the employers in this area. There's about 6,000 employees in the 144th and I-25 quadrant, as we call it, and there is no transit service that serves this area until we identified the need for that and went after a grant to provide the shuttle service directly to the employers, down to the minute basis that serves their shift workers here at St. Anthony North Hospital and Amazon DIN 3, as well as some other locations along the quadrant.
Leveraging DRCOG's Transportation Improvement Program, Smart Commute Metro North and Adams County partnered with Thornton, Westminster, RTD, and local businesses to invest $2 million for a deviated fixed route service and accompanying mobility options project for the 144th Avenue and I-25 quadrant. Smart Commute Metro North also partnered with the Colorado Energy's office Can Do Colorado e-bike program to launch a low-income, loan-to-own e-bike pilot aimed at providing more mobility options for those working primarily in this area.
It's just the ability for those folks to get to and from both their jobs and daily activities. I think through true flexibility and active collaboration, we've married the needs for mobility services in the North Metro area with an innovative grant program that provides them both a shuttle service and an e-bike participation opportunity.
The 144th Flex Ride service opened November 11, 2019, and operates from 4:50 a.m. to 9:45 p.m., 7 days a week, including holidays. In the first year of service, more than 29,000 riders used the 144th Flex Ride. MetroVision calls for a safe and reliable transportation network. The 144th Flex Ride service and e-bike program shows how collaboratively multiple stakeholders are able to improve access to jobs, healthcare, and amenities. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
And accepting the award on behalf of Smart Commute Metro North is longtime employee and newly appointed Director Carson Priest. So would anyone else involved in this groundbreaking responsive partnership also please stand to be recognized? A big round of applause for you. Our next project brings together the efforts of at least 7 of DRCOG's member governments and 5 community organizations to conserve the historic Highline Canal and to champion water use innovations while simultaneously enhancing recreation and cultural opportunities for the region's residents. So let's watch the video.
The Highline Canal, built in 1883, is a 71-mile-long channel that twists through the Denver area, from Waterton Canyon in Douglas County to Green Valley Ranch in northeast Denver. The canal offers a unique environmental and recreational resource used annually by more than 500,000 people of all ages and backgrounds. It's also an important water source for our region. Over the past 15 years, Denver Water has sought partners to help plan a vital future for the old Highline Canal.
There, the Conservancy was born out of that effort. It was clear that a nonprofit partner would be a very helpful partner in bringing everyone to the table and thinking about this as a regional resource and not just the different sections of the canal along the way.
They have worked collaboratively since 2017. The plan has received strong support from more than 5,000 residents and 11 government partners. To date, over $30 million in improvements have been completed since this collaboration began. Public outreach and participant engagement are at the core of this collaborative planning effort for the Highline Canal. Strategies included 12 community open houses, 70 community events in communities along the 71 miles.
And at those meetings, elected officials could really see and talk to their constituents about why the canal meant so much to them. And together we all became so passionate about our opportunity to preserve and enhance the Highline Canal for future generations.
MetroVision calls for a safe, natural, and built environment, including clean water. It also calls for access to diverse recreational opportunities. Thank you to the Highline Canal Conservancy for helping our region thrive. Congratulations to our 2022 MetroVision Award winners.
And accepting the award today on behalf of this partnership is Harriet Crittenden Lamar, the Executive Director of the Highline Canal Conservancy. So thank you to a vast number of regional partners involved in this project. Its benefits are numerous and varied. We know so many people love to use the Highline Canal. If you're among those partners who helped out with this, please stand to also be recognized. Great work. Thank you guys so much. And it's perhaps fitting tonight that our last award should be for a partnership among 3 of DRCOG's member governments. So beginning in 2018, the cities of Inglewood, Littleton, and Sheridan came together to develop a cohesive plan to address homelessness, which has just begun to be implemented this year. So let's learn more.
Homelessness knows no borders. Seeing a surge in unhoused people in the region in 2018, the cities of Inglewood, Littleton, and Sheridan launched the Tri-Cities Homelessness Policy Committee.
So the studies that we did really helped us uncover who are those that are experiencing homelessness, how did they arrive to this situation in their lives, what barriers are there to coming out of it, and what could we do as the 3 cities to help.
The cities of Inglewood, Littleton, and Sheridan have a history of partnership to tackle community needs. In order to address the root causes of homelessness, the 3 cities contracted with a consultant to develop the Tri-Cities Plan of Action. The Tri-Cities Plan of Action focuses on 4 key themes: governance, single adult homelessness, family homelessness, and workforce training. All 3 city councils adopted this plan and are now beginning implementation, such as hiring a homelessness coordinator and developing a process and structure to report on the progress. The cities also partnered with Change the Trend, a coalition of over 30 nonprofits that meet weekly to coordinate efforts to help unhoused individuals. The Tri-Cities Plan of Action represents a collaborative approach to curb homelessness, including shared funding and the mutual role of the homelessness coordinator, while also serving as a model for other communities to follow.
I'm very proud that it's a regional effort. I don't believe homelessness can be solved in single entities in a metropolitan area like ours. So I'm hoping that it will expand and that we could have maybe an entire metro area regional plan where we are all working together.
Metro Vision calls for healthy, inclusive communities with better access to housing and health care. The Tri-Cities Plan of Action exemplifies regional partnership and how communities can engage together in life-changing work. Congratulations to our 2022 Metro Vision Award winners.
So accepting the award on stage tonight is Sheridan Mayor Tara Beta-Fleur. Would other representatives from Englewood, Littleton, and Sheridan please stand to be recognized for all of your efforts on this project? We'd like to especially recognize Littleton Mayor Pro Tem Gretchen Ryden and Englewood Mayor Othaniel Sierra for working alongside Sheridan Mayor Tara Beta-Fleur to continue an enduring legacy of cooperation among those three communities. So congratulations. And congratulations once again to all of the representatives for each of these amazing Metro Vision award-winning projects. It was just incredible to learn about all of the hard work you guys are doing, and we appreciate it so much. So as you guys you accepted the awards, you can exit the stage and be congratulated by our board vice chair and City of Englewood Council member Steve Conklin over there. So thank you guys again so much. All right, so we've had some amazing awards and projects and individuals tonight. It's just been so exciting and incredible to learn about everything. And it is also crunch time. So fourth quarter, down by 1 score and driving towards the goal line. We have our last quiz question coming up. So get out those phones, get ready to compete. We have some good prizes that you guys can win. So DRCOG and our region have a reputation for transportation improvement innovations. Here is our last question of the night. And the big question is, which of these game changers originated in our region? So A, the diagonal pedestrian crosswalk at four-way stops, the boot or the tire clamp for parking violations, C, the first electric traffic signal, D, the first synchronized citywide traffic signal system, or E, both A and B are correct. All right, time is up. A tough one there. The correct answer is E. Both the diagonal pedestrian crosswalk at four-way stops, as well as all things the boot, originated right here in Denver as well. So congratulations to those of you who got it right. And we're going to make you wait. We're going to have to announce that champion in just a few minutes. I know you guys don't want to know who it was, but just a few minutes. So tonight we recognized our premier gold, silver, and bronze sponsors at the beginning of the program, and now we're also down to the grassroots for recognition of nonprofit and member government sponsors who have helped to make this evening possible through their sponsorship and their partnership. So will you please take a moment and refer to the event program to recognize the long list of member government and nonprofit sponsors who contributed to the success of our event tonight. Big round of applause to everyone. We literally can't do this without all of you guys, so we appreciate it. And then to further celebrate DRCOG's legacy of intergovernmental cooperation, Chair Kevin Flynn coming back up here to say a few words about his predecessor on the DRCOG board, outgoing Chair Ashley Stolzman.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I am just blown away by the breadth and the depth of all these award winners. All the different areas that affect so much of our lives here in the region. Thank you. Thank you so much for pouring your hearts into this region. And thank you, Mackenzie, for bringing me back up here for something that, it's going to be a little emotional for me. It's now my privilege to introduce to you someone who has led DRCOG's board through one of our region's most difficult years. Outgoing Chair Ashley Stolzman, the Mayor of Louisville. Please. Ashley was one of the directors who came to me after my appointment by the council president to the board who urged me to consider running for throwing my name in for executive committee. So thank you, Ashley, for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. As we all know too well, late last year, the Marshall Fire tore throughout the communities of Louisville, Superior, and Boulder County. When disaster strikes, sometimes people and communities could have the tendency to turn inward upon themselves. Not Ashley, not Louisville. Even when concerned about her own home and her own community, Ashley's first reaction was to reach out to support her neighbors and her regional partners. Ashley, the whole region continues to stand with Louisville, Superior, and the Boulder County communities that were so terribly affected by these fires. We said we would be here for you for the long haul, and here we are. Are all of us here for those communities? All of us? Not just now, not just next year, but for however long it takes, whatever resources we can provide, please call on us. Throughout her service as the board chair, Ashley provided committed, responsive leadership to the board and to all of DRCOG's member governments. She oversaw the adoption of the 2050 MetroVision Regional Transportation Plan in April and the release of the first region-wide Complete Streets Toolkit. Under her leadership, DRCOG rolled out its first regional Vision Zero educational campaign to reduce and to slow speeding, including an award-winning experiential sign in her home community of Louisville. And she provided unwavering support to the Area Agency on Aging through dynamic responses to the COVID-19 pandemic, including providing transportation, meals, and organizing vaccine clinics. Under Ashley's leadership, the Bike to Work Day got back in the bike saddle, with its first in-person event since 2019. She presided over a completely virtual term of service, quickly moving board meetings from a prior virtual platform to one that allowed everyone to see each other, kind of looked like the Brady Bunch during some of those meetings. Under her leadership, DRCOG conducted this celebration virtually, and we honored former Greenwood Village Mayor Ron Rakowski. I saw Ron sitting over there somewhere. Ron Rakowski as the John V. Christensen Memorial Award winner last year, as well as a separate event to honor the Way to Go commuting champions. And not for nothing, no board directors, none of us, had problems leaving the parking garage at 10:01 at DRCOG's offices during her term. Right? Am I right? If you did, see Doug for that little pass. That makes for 0 vehicle miles traveled for board activities during your term, Ashley. So congratulations. Ashley, can you come up and, are you here? You didn't leave, did you?
Thank you, Chairman Flynn, and those were very kind words. I just want to start by saying it was a total pleasure to serve the region during this time, and very easy to work with all of you. Everyone in this room had to do very hard things over the last year, over the last 2 years, and this group has risen to the occasion in a way that is truly unbelievable. We've seen the amazing projects and programs that won awards, but every single effort from this community, from these public servants in this room that have changed the lives of the entire Denver metro region is truly unfathomable. And it's been my pleasure to be the chair. I just want to remind everyone looking toward the future that we have a lot of hard work to do. There really, truly is a lot of hard work to do, but look around the room because this group of people can absolutely do it, will absolutely do it, and don't forget to work together to get everything done that we need to. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great night.
Don't leave. In recognition of not having to have presided over any in-person meetings, we want to present Ashley with the Silver Gavel Award. Anyway, she can use it at home. Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, for your service to DRCOG's board and for your ongoing leadership. Normally at this point in the program, we'd be introducing our John V. Christensen Memorial Award winner, DRCOG's highest award. And while it's certainly not unprecedented for DRCOG and the board to not present the John V. Christensen Award, it's indeed rare and always the result of some highly unusual circumstances. And I think the last 2 years certainly would be very high on the list for highly unusual circumstances. As we all know, there's been nothing typical about the last 2 years. So this year, the board decided that the collective efforts of all of our county and community providers in responding to the COVID-19 crisis were worthy of these highest accolades. As many of you know, DRCOG is the area agency on aging for 8 of our metro area counties. And through partnerships with each of those county councils on aging and community providers, area agency on aging staff have worked alongside the heroes who have responded to this global pandemic at a regional scale and provided life-saving, compassionate, innovative care for each older adult that it touched in our communities. Let's learn some more.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought in an unprecedented era around the world. Response from health providers and resource advocates was critical, especially for our most vulnerable communities.
I think what the pandemic did was really exacerbate the challenges that we were already facing.
And one of the things that was most dire and critical in serving this community, of course, was the shutdown that we had with the pandemic.
You know, the number one risk factor for COVID was being over 65. And so remember in the early days, older adults were told, shelter in place, stay home, you're super at risk. So that's what older adults did.
And older adults were not able to get out, go to their regular routines. That really adds to their socialization. So that was the biggest challenge. Even with our Meals on Wheels program, where we serve 500 hot meals a day, we were not able to cross the thresholds and enter the home as we were before the pandemic. So the biggest challenge was really seeing our older adults decline with their socialization needs.
I think food insecurity became even bigger than it ever was.
Transportation services dried up, in-home services dried up. So there was a lot of doctor's offices closed. They couldn't get what they needed.
County councils on aging, along with countless stakeholders and agencies, mobilized crisis response teams to provide essential services for older adults.
So you saw a lot of community partners come together and rally for food boxes. I know that we delivered 20,000 bags for filling up with food to be delivered to older adults. We've also worked with community partners to prepare meals and deliver FEMA boxes.
We had, people that were about 250 people that needed dialysis, cancer treatments, those things you can't put on hold or people will die. So it was really important we provide those services. We were partnering with all sorts of people, with community-based services, with counties, with health departments, with emergency response, with churches.
We moved our food pantry to a drive-through model so that we could pack up all the goods, you know, the perishable and non-perishable items, and take them out to the client directly. And that also allowed us to serve more individual households. So that was a big help. We crafted something called market nights. So we had 4 different market nights.
Our program, Denver Connect, we are a pop-up office. We're out there in the community, we're talking to people, finding out what their needs are, connecting them to a resource, and everything was done virtually. So I think that was really tough to switch gears and work with older adults who may have not had access to resources virtually.
I realized early on that if we didn't start paying our community-based service providers to do different kinds of work, they were going to have to close their doors. So we changed our model. We paid them to go get food and deliver it to their clients. We paid our providers to do outreach to their clients because isolation was a problem. Older adults remember all the conflicting information we were getting about COVID.
And it was a challenge because as a leader, you really do know you're sending folks out potentially to be ill and sick. And that was just something that I had to mentally reconcile every single day, even with all the PPE, even with when, you know, shots became available.
Staff got sick, some got really sick and had to be hospitalized and have ongoing issues. Our clients, a lot of our clients got sick, were hospitalized, many died. It was a tough time. We were constantly changing, constantly trying to figure out how to meet the needs that were out there. We were hearing desperate calls from people and felt helpless because we couldn't get what they needed or all the things that they needed. We did our best, but sometimes we couldn't.
As we begin to emerge from the pandemic, we reflect on just how we made our way through it, and even to consider what we've learned.
They were troopers. I mean, so many people stepped up, so many kind and caring people, right? When our older volunteers stayed home, but then those folks in the community that didn't have to go to work or were displaced, they started volunteering. So we started seeing younger volunteers, professional volunteers stepping up to serve in their community. That was inspirational.
So I think what we learned is, you know, older adults will use technology. They will adopt it if they're guided to it and if it's very purposeful and meaningful for their lives.
We kicked off a pilot we gave 55 Chromebooks to some older adults right now who are learning how to Zoom, learning how to connect.
We've also learned that funders can deliver dollars quicker than they did traditionally before the pandemic, and that we don't have to have all these committees and convenings to really get money out the door to the folks that really need it. I think that's what we've learned.
Our community is very resilient, and our nonprofit and community partners really stepped up to the plate to offer whatever help they could.
There were warriors out there. They've always been out there. They did the most amazing job during this time of COVID. We're super resourceful and dedicated, and I'm so glad they're being recognized.
What wonderful, giving, and selfless people. Many of them are here tonight. These are the people who did not have the privilege, as many of us did, of working from home, in order that they could change the lives of those people who didn't have the ability to leave their homes the last 2 years. Thank you so much. What a moving tribute to these people who are integral to providing help and care for our region's older adults for the past 2 years. Thank you so much. Would anyone who is here tonight from a county council on aging or any other aging-focused governmental organization, please stand to be recognized. Please. And remain standing, please. Please remain standing. Next, will the staff of DRCOG's Area Agency on Aging please stand so we can show our appreciation for you? And please remain standing. Please. And would anyone who works for a community organization providing for the health or the well-being of our region's older adults, please stand and be recognized. Please. I am so proud of the DRCOG board, the staff, and the decision we made that instead of this year coming out of COVID, that we have decided to honor some true heroes of this region. There are so many of them. Thank you. On behalf of the entire region, thank you for all the work you did keeping our region's older adults safe and well during COVID-19 and beyond. Your efforts are truly, truly extraordinary. And we want you to feel our gratitude as you leave here tonight and return to your offices, community organizations, and older adult residences. Please carry our appreciation of all of the member governments of DRCOG. Please carry our appreciation to your coworkers, to your volunteers, and your partners. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Chair Flynn, and for all those heartfelt remarks. I know a lot of us feeling the same way tonight, and just so much appreciation to all of you guys and all the hard work that everyone's done throughout the past 2 years and always and moving forward as well. So now it's time to say thank you to all of you who joined us tonight to show their support for our winners and our champions. To our sponsors, thank you for making this possible. This has been so great to be together in person again this year. Just great to see so many faces and to celebrate everyone's success and hard work. We do have one more final order of business, and that is to announce the winner of the Russell Wilson jersey and a football with Chris Harris's autograph. Hearing a lot of excitement about that in the crowd here tonight. All right, so let's see who our winner is. It is Allison Dreyer. So Allison, can you come up and claim your prize? You had the most correct answers and in the fastest time. So we want you to come up here to claim your prize. Congratulations. We're very impressed with your skills with that quiz, so good job. All right, so congratulations, Allison. All right, and thank you again to everyone who's made this evening just such a success. And please commute home safely tonight. We look forward to seeing you again next year and again honoring all of your hard work this year and the years following. So thanks so much, everyone.